The Slender Man. The Slender Man is an alleged paranormal figure purported to have been in existence for centuries, covering a large geographic area. Believers in the Slender Man tie his appearances in with many other legends around the world, including the Dark Man in Scotland, the Dutch Branch Man, and the German legend of the Tall Man. The Slender Man is a being, male in appearance, who looks like a man with extremely long, slender arms and legs. He also appears to have 4 to 8 long, black tentacles that protrude from his back, though different photographs and enthusiasts disagree on this fact, and therefore it is theorized he can contract these tentacles at will. He is described as wearing a black suit strikingly similar to the visage of the notorious Men in Black, and as the name suggests, appears very thin and able to stretch his limbs and torso to inhuman lengths in order to induce fear and ensnare his prey. Once his arms are outstretched, his victims are put into something of a hypnotized state, where they are utterly helpless to stop themselves from walking into them. Whether he absorbs, kills, or merely takes his victims to an undisclosed location or dimension is also unknown, as there are never any bodies or evidence left behind in his wake to deduce a definite conclusion. His face is pale and slightly ghostly, and almost appears to have been wrapped in a type of gauze or cloth. His facial features are also an object of debate, and many people believe that his face looks different to each person, if it is seen at all. He sometimes is portrayed wears a hat, which is sometimes a bowler, a fedora, or sometimes a top hat. He may also be seen wearing a long flowing necktie or scarf, which is either red or gray. He often keeps his long pale hands crossed politely behind his back or hanging loosely at his sides. His suit is black, sometimes portrayed as pinstripe. He has long coattails which he lets flow proudly. He wears long dress shoes, which are always shined a perfect gleaming black. Much of the fascination with Slender Man is rooted in the overall mystery that he is wrapped in. Despite the fact that it is rumored he kills children almost exclusively, it is difficult to say whether or not his only objective is slaughter. Oftentimes it is either reported or recorded that he can be found in sections of woods, and these generally tend to be suburban. He also has been reported seen with large groups of children, as many photographs portray. It is commonly thought that he resides in woods and forests and preys on children. He seems unconcerned with being exposed in the daylight or captured in photos. It is often thought as well that he enjoys stalking people who become overly paranoid about his existence, purposefully giving them glimpses of himself in order to further frighten them. For this reason, it seems like Slenderman very much enjoys psychologically torturing his victims. He also often appears to float or drift around rather than walk, which suggests the possibility of him being an ethereal being rather than a creature or a man. This would also explain why he is able to remain mobile in spite of his poorly proportioned body. He is seen mostly at night peering into open windows and walks out in front of lone motorists on secluded roads. His main intentions appear to be kidnapping children, as when he is seen near them in photographs, they usually disappear shortly afterwards. The earliest argued reference to the legend is within the cave paintings found in the Serra da Capivara National Park in the northeast of Brazil, which are believed to date from as far back as 9000 BC. These paintings show a strangely elongated character leading a child by the hand, but make no reference to the extra appendages. The next known possible reference to the Slender Man comes from around 3100 BC in Lower Egypt, with references to the thief of the gods or the thief of Kuk becoming commonplace during the reign of Pharaoh Wasner. Hieroglyphic carvings representing the thief were found in the pharaoh's tomb, who was rumored to have had some kind of encounter with the entity. The carvings resemble a strange figure with multiple upper limbs, one that has never been found in any other hieroglyph language. Renowned German woodcutter Hans Freckenberg created at least 2 woodcuts featuring a character he described as Der Ritter, the knight, during the mid-16th century that were discovered in Hallsberg Castle in 1883. Whilst Freckenberg was well known for his realistic depiction of human anatomy, something that was unusual among woodcuts of the time, these pictures featured a skeletal, multi-limbed character. Historians are unsure of the exact symbolic nature of the character, with some claiming that it is a personification of the religious wars that raged in Europe at the time, while others say it represents the mysterious plagues that have been believed to be the reason for the mysterious abandoning of the Hastelberg castle and the nearby village in 1543. However, many insist that Freckenberg was attempting to represent der Grossmann, the tall man. According to legend, he was a fairy who lived in the Black Forest. Bad children who crept into the woods at night would be relentlessly chased by der Grossmann, who wouldn't leave them be until he either caught them or they were forced to tell their parents of their wrongdoing. Even then, there is a chilling account from an old journal, dating from about 1702. There is also an English myth referring to the tree man, whom is said to have a slim body with appendages that looks like tree branches. He is only known to be seen in the woods and was used as a story that parents told their children to thwart bad behavior. There have been quite a few disappearances of children that have been said to be linked to the tree man. Video/audio distortion. Almost all Slender Man-based ARGs have video sightings of the Slender Man accompanied with severe video and audio distortion. While it is not known for certain what causes this, every man hybrid may explain it as radioactive interference by sigma radiation. The distortion first appeared in Marble Hornets, the first video ARG. Effects on still photography have yet to be seen, but the original mythos shows there to be no distortion. Rarely in major ARGs does Slender Man act aggressively. In IMH, MH, TT, and most other ARGs, Slender Man acts as more of a passive observer, if not an INTE reference or stalker. On the rare occasions he does attack, the video images are usually massively distorted or cut out entirely. The sickness. The sickness refers to the common trope of Slender Man's presence causing illness and a number of symptoms. The symptoms start off common, such as coughing and fevers, but eventually grow more drastic, such as coughing up blood. It should be noted the symptoms can also be caused by real-life diseases, and anyone experiencing them should see a doctor. In rural Wisconsin, two 12-year-old girls allegedly stabbed a friend of theirs 19 times and left her to die in a forest. The girl survived, but the reason for her attack remains puzzling. Her accused attackers apparently told police that she was meant to be a sacrifice to a mythical creature. In total, two major types of Slender Man descriptions exist. The original versions depict him as not only malevolent, but extremely dangerous. He will do odd things such as removing organs and placing them in bags, impaling targets on trees, and aggressively stalking targets after a period of time. A contemporary depiction shows Slender Man as being extremely passive-aggressive, often letting a person slowly delve into madness at their situation until being unable to cope. If invited to anger, he will typically charge a target down until caught and vanish with them to unknown locations. This version also shows an odd response to electronic equipment and causes massive problems with audio, surveillance, camera, and other various electronic devices with displays or audio. Sometimes an individual can determine if he is near simply by how certain electronics react, such as radios, televisions, or cameras.
Thank you for watching Bob's videos. After all, he makes them for you. He hopes you enjoy them and that you get a little chuckle out of them and maybe learn a thing or two. You don't have to like his videos or subscribe to his channel because he really doesn't care about that. As always, God bless and have an awesome day.